Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Mary again, and I'm here with the part 2 of my pregnancy journey. And I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone that supported my last video. If you haven't watched the part 1, please watch it. I'm going to just put the link right here. Please watch it. You'll be literally blessed by watching it, trust me. And everyone that liked the video, that shared the video on the story, on the social media, I want to just say a massive thank you. Literally, you guys are the one that keeps encouraging and keep me going. And everybody else that's watched this video, every single view, I want to say thank you so much, guys. And everybody that subscribed, you guys are the best. And also, just a quick one, everyone that's actually messaged me, WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, and shared the story with me, thank you so much for counting me worthy enough to be able to share your story with me. It's actually amazing. So seriously, you guys don't have an idea of how many people out there are going through the same thing or went through the same thing. And just something like this can give a bit of encouragement, a bit of hope for someone out there, because there is nothing God can't do. Because literally, my baby survived all the bleeding for 2 months. It was fine. My baby had low PAPPA. It wasn't born prematurely. It did not have low birth weight. It was fine. My baby had amniotic bands. It was not caught up in it. It did not have amniotic band syndrome. It wasn't for operation. It did not lead to fetal death, and it was fine. So literally, God can do anything. Just literally anything. Just keep having faith and keep being strong, because I know it's hard, but God's got you. So guys, thank you so much for watching and continue enjoying this video. Thank you so much. So this leads me to my continuation of the story. Normally, when you go for 12-week scan, you normally have screening done where they check for whether you're gonna have your baby is gonna have Down syndrome, Edward something. I'll put the name here. I don't know. So basically, they did the screening, and when the screening was done, it does not have any chance of all of those syndromes and stuff like that. But it came back saying my baby's got low PAPPA. So it was diagnosed with low PAPPA, which is low pregnancy associated peptide protein A. This can lead to preterm baby, when baby was born prematurely. It can lead to low birth weight, which is where growth is restricted. And those are the two main stuff that normally happen. It can also lead to miscarriages as well. It can lead to a lot of more complications of pregnancy. So it was diagnosed with that, and that was the first one that I was like, I'm bleeding, I'm going through this, and I have to also now, continue. And I also actually get this news that it's got low PAPPA. Just a reminder, I was bleeding for 2 months. 2 whole months. So when these results came, I was still bleeding heavily. So it's just another, like, something that just, brought you down and make you a bit more, sad, let's say. So when they told me about that, I was not sent the letter later on that because of the low PAPPA, I'm going to be having growth scans. So they placed me on growth scans from 28 weeks all the way to 40 weeks. And normally you only have 2 scans. You only have your 12-week scan and your 20-week scans. If you're going to have any other scans, probably because maybe you went to maternity triage because something is wrong, or you've got all these growth scans and stuff like that. But the 2 main scans they do while you're pregnant is because it's 12 weeks and 20-week scans. The rest are just normal antenatal checkups. So yeah, and the same later that I'll start having growth scans roughly every 3 weeks from when I'm 28 weeks till I'm 41, or 40 weeks, 41, 40, whatever I fall, the date falls on. And yeah, and COVID-19 was at its peak when I went to have my 28 weeks scan, so I couldn't have the 28-week scan. The gynecologist called me and she went through some history with me. She went through, asked different questions just to categorize my PAPPA, I guess. So when she finished, she said I've got 4% or less chance of having a preterm baby or anything like that. So she says she's not that worried, that I'll be fine, but I'm just gonna have to continue. I will be going for my growth scans from 31 weeks. I will have another growth scan which is going to be the hospital, and I should come down and they can be actually monitoring the baby. So when they do the growth scan, what they normally measure is baby's head circumference, the abdomen, circumference of the abdomen. They measure the femur length, the bone of the baby, because obviously that's going to check whether a baby is actually growing, you know. So they check the baby's weight as well. They check the baby's the water around the baby, amount of water around the baby. They check a lot of different stuff as well, and that's what they actually measure over to check that okay, baby is actually growing and they actually then plot it on a chart, and the chart is going to tell whether baby is actually growing, whether the growth has stopped, whether the growth is reducing, so they can be able to follow the pattern of baby's growth. And thank God, Zion was growing perfectly. And when Zion was born, it did not have low birth weight. It was 7.2 pounds. It was fine. It was just like a normal average baby. So, which I was very, very grateful for and happy about. So that was it about the low PAPP-A. At 20-week scan, when I went for my 20-week scan, which is where they were going to check other stuff about the baby, they will check that's what they will even tell you. The main thing I actually remember at 20-week scan was when they checked for the sex of the baby. You know, so sex of the baby, they asked me, do you want to know the baby's gender? I said no. They should just write it inside a piece of paper for me, because I want to take it home and literally have that moment with my husband, because at this time husbands were not allowed to be inside the scan room with you. So I literally go for my scan myself. My husband would drop me, wait outside the car park, and I have to go in. It was not allowed to be involved in the, you know, the process of the baby anymore. Even if I go for antenatal or whatever, is not allowed. Even antenatal classes, the classes were cut down. There's no classes. There was no antenatal classes. What we really had was just checkup, whereby they would just come and check the baby, check your stomach, we check how that is growing. And I only had about 3 overall, 3 throughout the pregnancy. And that was what happened. And sonographer was not checking my womb, my uterus, and she's found something called amniotic bands. Amniotic band syndrome is like, they're like spindle fiber, they're like bands, like lines, let's say. And this is when the amniotic sac, part of it has peeled off. So they now form these amniotic bands. These bands literally can get caught up on baby's limbs, his fingers, his arms, his legs, his toes, his abdomen, his neck. This baby can be caught up in any part of the body with the amniotic bands, and this can lead to baby having something like that looks like this. I'll show you the picture. And also, if it's caught up on baby's neck, it could lead to fetal death, and sometimes it can lead to amputation of some of baby's fingers or something like that, but it's literally cut off completely. So yeah, they found that in my uterus, and that was something that was a bit scary for me, because I was thinking, oh my God, what if Zion is caught up on these amniotic bands? If it was caught up on it, they have to do an operation when it's born. They have to operate it. So I was like, so what's gonna happen? She said at the moment she doesn't feel concerned about it. It's literally right there on the upper side of my stomach. And she would write in my notes that when I have my 28 weeks growth scan, because now I'm now moved to like doctor led, I'm not more midwife led. So now it's like I have to say doctor for my, you know. So she would put it there that I would, where is it? They should check it when they go for my 28 week scan. But to God be the glory, what happened was that, even let's just say it is the amniotic bands, yeah. The amniotic bands was at the top left hand side of my uterus, and Zion's back was literally like this, backing the amniotic bands. It was not caught up on it. It was just literally, it turned his back against it, which was just amazing. They were like, what she's more worried about is the baby moves or it turns, baby's limbs can be caught up on it, or babies can now get attached to the amniotic band. So she wants to just let them be keeping an eye on that for me. And God so good, Zion wasn't caught up on the amniotic bands. Because if he was caught up on it, on his neck, that is it. On his limbs, it could be amputated. Literally, it was just amazing because when it moves in my stomach, it's not moving towards the band. God's just so good. God is just so good. That's all I can say. And she said they should just keep an eye on it in my scans, because one thing that she's sure about is when my baby grows, baby will start pushing it away, so it wouldn't be in the way anymore. But right now, because baby is still small, baby turns, it can still get caught up on it, and we just keep praying and hoping that it never get caught up on it, which it never did. So thank goodness for that. And on my 31 weeks appointment, saw the sonographer again, and she checked. She was like, okay, the amniotic band is still there, but baby Zion is still doing great. It's still doing fine, so I shouldn't have anything to worry about. And that was that. And I saw a midwife after my checkup. Excuse me. And the midwife, she's really good. She literally said to me, she knows that I've got low PAPPA growth scans and stuff like that. I said yes, which is good, so because they're monitoring that. And she said she knows that I've got amniotic bands in my uterus as well, which you can see in my notes. She said she just wants a thorough examination to be done. Even though they said that there's nothing wrong with the baby, it's not caught up with it, blah blah blah. She just wants to have like a thorough examination done, so that way she can be double sure and she can be rest assured, and I can be rest assured, you know. So she now booked me for fetal medicine. This is another department that deals with baby stuff. I'll put the description of what they do down here. So that's fetal medicine, and they are literally more specialized. So she booked me for that training, and then I came in there was like 2 doctors, 2 nurses. Literally there was just a lot of people inside that room, and there, even it was COVID-19. And then they did like a thorough examination. They took their time, they were checking everything, and they checked everything. They were like, yep, they're happy, baby is fine, I'm fine, amniotic band is not in the way, maybe he's going to be pushing it off because it's growing perfectly, his birth weight is fine, so it's going to be, baby should be pushing it off soon. So that gave me a rest of mind, because I was like, oh good, because for that woman, even though there was nothing wrong, but she took, you know, she booked me for an extra screening, which is much detailed, because nobody even bothered about it. Those are the 2 main things that I experienced apart from the bleeding. So as you can see, Zion's birth was a miracle. He was fine against all odds. He was not born with low birth weight. He was born with 7.2 pounds. It's not that big, but it's still a big baby. And he wasn't born preterm. There's no other complications that is related to low PAPPA from his during my pregnancy. The amniotic band was not caught up on him. He did not have to have an operation afterwards. I didn't have to lose my baby because the band was literally choking him in the neck. You know, God literally just positioned him perfectly in my womb, you know. So thank God for that. Thank God for that. So I want to just let you know out there, do not lose faith, do not lose hope. God is at work and he will do yours as well. And thank you so much for watching my story, guys. You have no idea how it is, because it literally encourages me to do this video, so that somebody out there, even just one person, might be encouraged, might feel like, okay, somebody out there went through something similar to me and they survived, and this is going to happen to me. And yeah, other parts that I experienced, I had the pelvic pains, which was very bad, guys. It was extremely bad. I cannot work. If I'm working, I'm in pain. I cannot walk up the stairs. I literally have to crawl up the stairs or shuffle my bum up the stairs. Yeah. If I want to get out of bed, and it's worse because when you're pregnant, you have to go to pee. I mean, to pee, yeah, almost very often, and I have to get out of bed to go and pee. It was a struggle. I have to literally kneel down first of all from the bed, go on my knees, and then try and now use the slab on top of the radiator to kind of push myself up and standing up, and then I have to drag my feet, drag myself all the way to the bathroom and have a pee, and then come back. And I'm actually doing that about 3 times to 4 times at night. You know, it was very bad. and that was one of the other things I experienced in terms of my pregnancy symptoms. I also had swollen feet. Look how huge my leg are. That was my leg when I was pregnant. My leg was swollen. My ankle was like a ball, like a balloon. Can you see? The sole of my foot here, it doesn't go flat. It's like hunched up, so it's bouncing off the floor. Literally, when I want to put my feet down and let me walk, it's bouncing off the floor, and the pain, I feel like it's gonna burst sometime because how hard it feels, as if, oh God. Anyway, that took 2 weeks after I got pregnant, after I delivered the baby, to go down. So even though I gave birth, it still took 2 weeks to go down. The pelvic pain took about a week and a couple of days before I stopped feeling pain. But yeah, pregnancy, it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, and it's also a miracle. Being able to have a baby and give birth to that baby, and baby is literally healthy, whether baby is born naturally or C-section or prematurely, anything like that, for you to be able to have that baby, it is a miracle, and it's by God's grace. Because it is not easy. It is not easy. And I really, really appreciate every mothers out there and soon to be mothers out there. You're doing great. That is the end of my pregnancy journey, guys. And I hope you guys are inspired and encouraged. And thank you so much for watching to the very end. You guys are amazing. You're the best. And don't forget to comment. Forget to like as well. Share this story, guys. Never know who you might be helping by sharing this story on your timeline. So yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. God bless you, and I will see you in my next video, which is gonna be about my birth story. You know, giving birth to Zion, the labor, the contractions, this, and yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Have a lovely day, and God bless.